The North Pole is a place of mystery and extremes, a frozen wonderland where temperatures regularly drop to mind-numbing levels, darkness reigns for half the year, and life clings on in ways that seem almost magical. Yet, despite these challenges, a host of fascinating creatures call this icy domain home. Their survival strategies are nothing short of astonishing, and today we're diving into their frosty world to uncover their secrets. Let's start with one of the most iconic residents of the North Pole, the polar bear, a symbol of Arctic resilience. Polar bears are the ultimate survivalists, with thick layers of blubber and dense fur designed to insulate against the cold. But here's the kicker. Their fur isn't actually white, it's translucent. The strands reflect visible light, making the bears blend seamlessly into their snowy surroundings. Beneath this disguise, their skin is black to absorb heat from the scarce Arctic sun. And when it comes to finding food, these apex predators are patient. They'll wait by seal breathing holes in the ice, sometimes for hours or even days, to pounce on a much-needed meal. Polar bears truly embody the saying, "Good things come to those who wait." Enter the Arctic fox, the sly little scavenger of the north. With its fluffy white winter coat and comically fluffy tail, it looks like it was designed for a fairy tale. But don't let the cuteness fool you. This animal is a master of adaptation. Arctic foxes have small, rounded bodies that minimize heat loss, and thick fur that even covers their paws, acting like natural snow boots. Their diet? Just about anything they can find, from lemmings to leftover scraps from polar bears' meals. When food is scarce, they've been known to stash away snacks for later, ensuring they've got reserves when times get tough. Clever, right? Now, while we're talking about survival tricks, let's shift to the narwhal, often called the unicorn of the sea. These mysterious creatures are famous for their spiral tusks, which can grow up to 10 feet long. While the purpose of these tusks is still debated, scientists believe they might serve as sensory organs, helping narwhals detect subtle changes in their environment. Narwhals thrive in freezing waters thanks to their thick blubber and the ability to slow their heart rates, conserving oxygen as they dive to depths of over a mile in search of fish and squid. Think of them as the deep-sea free divers of the Arctic. Of course, no Arctic exploration would be complete without mentioning the harp seal pups, known for their fluffy white coats that make them look like adorable snowballs. These coats are more than just cute. They help keep the pups warm during their first few weeks of life on the ice. Unfortunately, the fluffy fur isn't waterproof, which is why these young seals must stick to the ice until they shed their baby coats. Their mother's milk is so rich in fat, about 50%, that pups can gain up to 5 pounds a day. Imagine having a growth spurt that fast. Take the Arctic woolly bear moth, for example. This little caterpillar survives the brutal cold by literally freezing itself solid during the winter. Its body produces a kind of antifreeze to prevent ice crystals from damaging its cells, and it can stay frozen for up to 14 years, only thawing out to complete its life cycle. 14 years. Talk about a slow and steady transformation. Another unsung hero of the North is the snowy owl, a creature of beauty and stealth. With its piercing yellow eyes and feathered talons, this bird is built for survival. Snowy owls are nomadic, traveling long distances in search of food. They have incredible vision and hearing, which allows them to spot prey even under layers of snow. And their thick feathers act like a thermal blanket, keeping them cozy as they perch in freezing temperatures. Watching one of these majestic birds glide over the tundra is like witnessing nature's poetry in motion. Speaking of poetry, let's talk about the beluga whale, also known as the canary of the sea because of its wide range of vocalizations. Belugas thrive in the icy waters of the Arctic thanks to their thick blubber and specialized circulatory systems that conserve heat. But their most remarkable trait? Their neck vertebrae aren't fused, which means they can move their heads in all directions. A unique skill among whales. This flexibility helps them navigate ice-filled waters and even break through thin layers of ice to breathe. Plus, they're super social, living in pods and communicating constantly. Imagine an underwater group chat, but with clicks and whistles. Now let's not overlook the plant eaters of the Arctic, like the musk ox. These shaggy, prehistoric-looking creatures sport 2 layers of fur, a long outer layer that repels snow and wind, and a soft undercoat called kiviot, which is 8 times warmer than sheep's wool. Musk oxen survive by using their strong hooves to dig through snow, uncovering the hardy grasses and shrubs beneath. And when predators like wolves threaten the herd, musk oxen form a defensive circle, with their sharp horns facing outward. It's teamwork at its finest. Then there's the Arctic hare, a fleet-footed snow sprinter. These hares have snowshoe-like feet that help them move quickly across snowy terrain, and their white fur provides perfect camouflage against predators. In the summer, they switch to a brownish-grey coat to blend in with the tundra. When food is scarce, they'll nibble on woody plants, mosses, and even snow to stay hydrated. Arctic hares are all about adaptability, proving that speed and smarts can go a long way in the harshest conditions. But survival in the Arctic isn't just about physical adaptations. It's also about relationships. Consider the puffins, those adorable birds with brightly coloured beaks. Puffins nest in burrows on rocky cliffs, often forming large colonies for safety. They're excellent swimmers, using their wings to fly underwater in search of fish. But puffins aren't just focused on survival. They're also dedicated parents, taking turns incubating their single egg and hunting for food. Talk about teamwork. And let's not forget the microscopic champions of the Arctic, like plankton. These tiny organisms form the base of the Arctic food web, providing nourishment for everything from fish to whales. Despite the cold and dark conditions, plankton blooms explode during the brief Arctic summer when the sun returns and the ice melts. This burst of life sustains the entire ecosystem, showing how even the smallest creatures play a vital role in this frozen world. As we wrap up our journey, it's clear that life at the North Pole isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving in the face of overwhelming odds. From polar bears to plankton, each creature has found its own unique way to adapt to this icy wilderness. Their stories remind us of the incredible resilience of nature and the delicate balance that keeps the Arctic ecosystem alive. So, the next time you see a polar bear on a postcard or watch a documentary about the Arctic, remember the hidden struggles and triumphs that make this region one of the most extraordinary places on Earth. These creatures don't just endure the cold, they embrace it, turning the frozen north into a vibrant and thriving home.